Hey, Facebook and YouTube, looks like we're live here as our alert day slowly but surely winding down. Hope you're bearing with the snowstorm, hunkering down and staying in if at all possible.
I'm feeling a little bit of the exhaustion, but we are still loving the coverage that we're providing for you, and I certainly hope you've loved the coverage that our whole team of WTOL 11 meteorologists have been presenting to you. A big shout out to John Birchfield, of course, Ryan Weekman and Diane Phillips and Matt Willoughby, alongside us, meteorologist Chris Vickers here as well, if you're new to our coverage. So let's check this out, John. We're getting close to the end of the snowfall, and we want to just take a minute to just give everybody a quick update, but also if you have any questions or comments, we'll try to monitor a few of those, but go ahead and slide those comments in, and also do us a big favor, go ahead and share this Facebook Live because we like to reach new people as well.
Yeah, and if you've taken any snowfall measurements outside in your backyard, maybe stuck a ruler in the ground just for fun, let us know how much snow you've gotten in your place. We've gotten reports already from Toledo Express Airport of 8+ inches of snow, and that was several hours ago. And some folks have recorded 10 to 12 inches of accumulation. So we are looking at, just as our forecast said, a pretty blockbuster type snowstorm.
All right, raise your hand if you were worried that this snowstorm wasn't going to make it here. I know there was people out there. It took its time getting here, as we talked about yesterday, right around this time. But now all areas have been seeing snow for about 24 hours now, John. And it's been nearly continuous. There was a little bit of a lull. But let's talk impacts going forward. What's the biggest thing that you're kind of looking forward to tonight with our alert day continuing?
Well, we've talked about how the consistency of that snow has changed. If you've shoveled recently, I'm sure you've noticed it. It was that heavy, wet packing snow yesterday. Now it's that fine, powdery snow. And that stuff blows around a lot more easily. So we've been talking about blowing and drifting concerns tonight. Even once the snow starts to wind down, especially those rural roads, that's what we're concerned about, where travel is going to be extremely difficult, if not impassable in spots due to the blowing and drifting. And the snow drifts, of course, pile up even higher than the snow. So 8 inches of snow, that could lead to snow drifts of 1 to 2 feet, if not a little more.
We've got a lot of people asking questions. Keep them coming here. I'm monitoring some of the comments as they come in, and they are coming in fast and furious. We understand this is a big impact for you. Many people have been looking at delays. We've got many districts, obviously with schools, that have just completely canceled again for tomorrow, but also we have level 3 snow emergencies, and this is generally areas east of I-75 and south. John, explain why these are the areas that are really under the level 3 snow emergency.
So those are the spots that took a little bit longer to see that changeover yesterday, but as this storm moves on out of the viewing area, southeast of Toledo, that is where the snow is going to take a little bit longer, and it's going to stick around longer, and that's why we've been forecasting slightly higher additional snowfall totals to the south and southeast of Toledo. Let's get a check of WTOL 11 radar just to give you an idea of where we stand as far as the storm goes and how much left is yet to unfold as far as additional accumulation.
We're not entirely done with the snow yet. It is going to continue perhaps even another couple or several hours. It's going to end first, John, north and west of the Toledo Metro. Where it started first. So where it started first, it ends first. It will hang on longer. And some of the new data that we're looking at, John and I are looking at, shows it could snow into tomorrow morning south and east of Toledo. So we're talking Wyandotte and Crawford, Huron, Erie, parts of Seneca County, and even towards Sandusky County.
And you can even see that difference here on radar. We're going to point out some of those darker blue areas. That shows you where the snow is still coming down pretty good. If you're joining us from, say, Williams County, Hillsdale, Lenawee County, you've probably noticed it's gradually starting to lighten and taper up a bit, but southeast of Toledo, snow is still going strong and still coming down steadily.
Boy, it's nasty out there, though, with the winds, isn't it? So a lot of questions coming in. I want to answer some of these. Who's under a level 3 snow emergency? We've got Erie, Hancock, Huron, Ottawa, Putnam, Sandusky, Seneca, and Wyandotte counties. You are under the level 3 snow emergency. A couple of the bigger ones that are under level 2, Wood and Lucas County, you are under a level 2 snow emergency. We had a great discussion with Sheriff Oscillation earlier, if you caught it on our live newscast. We asked, what is the criteria for you making the decision to go level 3? Because, again, we don't have any say in that. It purely comes from the sheriff's office. We just pass that information along, but we can ask them those questions. And he really said, are the roads passable or not? And he said at this point they're passable, but he's closely monitoring the winds because the blowing and drifting of that snow. That could sway his decision. It didn't appear that he was going to be leaning in the direction of changing it. from the level 2, just kind of my opinion on that, but because he was very, very clear that the roads were passable.
Certainly a tough decision at this point. You know, we're seeing snow even on the major roadways on 475, still snow covered. So again, it's a very close call. It's more so those outlying rural locations, and at this point, southeast of Toledo, where those level 3s are really more predominant, versus the Toledo metro, where, you know, conditions aren't great by any means. And we're looking at traffic flow on some of those bigger roads. It's going 40 to 45 miles an hour, where it's normally a 60 to 70 type.
How about that double wide semi truck that you captured on one of those documents?
Yeah.
Jackknife. That was on I-280, right?
It was 75 at 280. There were 2 lanes that were closed. Yeah. Don't need to be out there.
Not good. A couple other things to kind of catch up on too. There was parts of 75 northbound that was closed, and perhaps still issues with that. It was a major 4 semi accident.
Yeah.
We actually had our very own little incident today on WTOL 11. Our defender was out in the field, stopped at a light, and was bumped. Our crew is okay. I know many people have reached out. Crew is okay. The other vehicle, the occupant, was okay as well. It was something that did do some damage to the cars and the vehicles. And, our crew was just out there, stopped at a light, and someone slid into them. So
goes to show that, if you can stay home for the night, that would be ideal with these conditions.
Look at this. We've got a couple thousand people that are tuning in to this live stream update. And we're getting a little snow fatigued because it's been about 24 hours of snow. John did a great job highlighting where we got some of the heavier bands of snow, and those are generally south and east of Toledo Metro. But this is going to taper off, and by tomorrow morning, most areas, John, should be headed towards in the clear, right?
Yeah, at least Toledo's going to be done with the snow tomorrow morning. That's not to say conditions are going to be great by any means. There's still going to be snow on the roads when you wake up. It's still going to be a little bit icy, especially with that heavy wet snow that fell yesterday. Could crunch and kind of form a glaze of ice underneath that snow. So not ideal conditions, but at least we'll get a break from the snow for crews to get out there and hopefully clear things up a little bit more. And thank you to all the folks who have been out there 24/7, keeping our roads safe and clean as well.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying, yeah, there's accidents everywhere, but, roads are passable. I don't get it. Well, that's kind of the criteria that level system goes by. So we're not saying road conditions are good by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I'll tell you, they're awful. So just stay off the roads. Yeah. It's a good idea to not be in a situation where you could be in putting yourself in danger, especially now after dark. There's winds that are whipping. We saw some wind gusts in Findlay and in lakeshore areas to 40 miles per hour measured wind gusts, and that did briefly drop visibilities to about a quarter of a mile. As we expected, we don't have blizzard conditions across our area. We didn't expect we would, but near blizzard conditions, at least for a short amount of time, because to actually get a true blizzard condition, you have to have frequent or sustained wind gusts to 35 miles per hour for a 3-hour period that results in visibilities below a quarter of a mile. So it's like, you got to check the box
most extreme of
on
standards.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's a really stringent sort of definition, and we will not reach that. With that said, though, some areas could see visibility to a couple hundred feet and very low visibility with the blowing and drifting of the snow.
Yeah, and those lakeshore counties in particular where the winds are really, really starting to gust.
How fun was it watching Jordan Strack reporting out in Port Clinton? We sent him out to the windiest place that we could find, and he was like a kid out there.
He does such a great job with both weather and sports reports, really.
So we've got some questions coming in. You guys just love these snow emergencies. Just stay put. Just stay put. Don't need to be out traveling tonight if you don't have to. Sounds like the majority of our school districts, at least the ones I've heard, have just phoned it in and closed for the day tomorrow. With those level 3 snow emergencies, the big deal with that is you're technically legally not allowed to be on the roads.
Yep.
You could be cited with a ticket or a traffic violation if you're not essential personnel or emergency personnel. So there are some nuances with that. Stay put, right?
Yep.
All right, let's get into the timing, John.
Yeah, hour-by-hour forecast as we watch what's in store for the rest of the night. Slowly but surely, the snow wrapping things up. As far as when is the snow going to be totally done, Toledo Metro through tonight could still see some light snow, but it's going to really, really start to diminish after midnight. So what are you going to wake up to tomorrow morning? Well, those of you to the southeast could still be seeing the snow. We've been calling this one a long-duration storm for probably a week now, and it's lived up to that expectation for sure.
Don't expect travel to be any better tomorrow morning. It depends on where you are, your community, where you live, but it will still be poor in the morning. There's no doubt about that. Neighborhood streets, residential streets, sometimes it takes those crews 2 days to get into those streets. Sometimes longer, if you know what I mean. County roads with the blowing and drifting of the snow that's going to continue all night. They won't improve at all tonight. So county areas, it may take even into the weekend to actually get all those miles and miles of county roads that we have actually plowed and cleaned up.
Yeah, but at least the snow is going to be wrapping up by Friday morning, so that'll give crews the chance to clear things up, and we'll be done with the accumulations for the time being.
I will ask this, because, John, you had a really good picture from one of our viewers sending in some significant snow drifts. I have to ask you, you don't have to leave your house, but have you seen snow drifts? Because that's one thing. We get reports of, temperatures and precipitation and snowfall measurements, but we don't really often get reports of snow drifts. So right now I'm monitoring those comments. If you could pass along any snow drift reports, are we looking at 2 feet, 3 feet? That kind of helps us out. That actually will help us out when we hit the air tonight at 10 and 11 on Fox 36 and WTOL. If you know of any snow drifts or if you've seen them, I'll monitor those in the chat right here. I'd love to hear those. Just make sure you let me know where you saw those snow drifts. So, hey.
Yeah, send your pictures too. We'd appreciate those.
We would love that. Yeah, say in Findlay we saw, 2.5 foot snow drifts. We'd love to hear those reports. So appreciate that. How much snow do we have? Officially, we've crossed 8 inches.
8 inches at Toledo Express.
Likely more because that update came in just before 3 p.m. So
and it's been going strong for several more hours.
4 hours of snow.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll end up with possibly close to a foot in the Toledo Metro.
I think we could. If we put another couple, a handful of inches down, we will see that. Drea sent us something in Messenger. Oh, cool.
Thank you. We'll check that out.
I think that was Jasmine, said about 3 feet. That they have
some pretty good snow drifts.
Snow drifts, and I would expect that. That's about what I'd be expecting. I wouldn't want to see that in my car. I wouldn't want to encounter a 3 foot snow drift in my car. Let's see. Snow drifts are horrible in Napoleon. Kingston, we've got 3 foot snow drifts. Sandusky had 2 foot snow drifts. So we're getting about 2 to 3 foot snow drifts. That would make sense.
Yeah, especially those lakeshore areas where the wind's really whipping.
What are we talking about, John, for future accumulations? If we kind of total this all up, because we're going to be kind of continuing to tailor these numbers as the evening wears on.
Yeah, trimming them down. But this is generally how much more snow you can expect on top of what has already fallen. And as expected, this system is tapering off from northwest to southeast. So those of you that got an earlier start on the snow yesterday to the northwest of the metro, it's also going to end the earliest there. So that includes Hillsdale and Lenawee counties, where 1 to up to 3 inches could still fall. Overall, the Toledo Metro expecting 2 to as high as 4 inches of snowfall. And if you still want some good snow, southeast is the place to be for that additional snowfall. And that's also where it's going to be the windiest for the longest, too.
And to be honest, we could, the far south and eastern extent of our viewing area could still see another 10 to 12 hours of snow.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't take much to get, half an inch snowfall rates per hour over that time to give us at least that 4 or 5, even up to 6 inch snowfall range. We'll be continue to fine tune that. You may see some different numbers tonight at 10 and 11 because we'll have
less hours of snow.
We'll have less hours of snow to go. So you get the picture. The forecast isn't changing. We'll just be lopping off what we see between now and then. Oh no. Julie asked did this storm beat the blizzard of 78?
Nope.
Nope, not even close.
And certainly not with the winds at all.
Yeah. The winds were a whole different level and magnitude beyond what we've ever seen since then, which is why that's such a historic benchmark storm. Let's see, anything else? A big temperature drop? Yeah, you felt it, right?
Yeah.
It's cold now.
And the wind chill factor, it's going to be cold tomorrow, but by Friday afternoon at least dry and maybe a little bit of sunshine to look forward to.
So, John, what can you leave all our viewers with? We're going to be obviously pushing to our coverage tonight. We're going to have them covered.
Yep, 10 and 11, we'll see on Fox 36 and WTOL. We'll update how much more snow's left to go. And of course, we want to make sure that all of our viewers are covered. So that not only includes Toledo, but it includes our rural viewers, our southeastern viewers. And we've really tailored this forecast, I think, for every single viewer, no matter where you're tuning in from, no matter what your travel concerns are. We've got you covered, and we'll break down the impacts region by region here.
All right, just one more time, just because I've got everybody asking again what level snow emergency we're at. We'll kind of try to, you can find this all on WTOL.com as well, but the level 3 snow emergencies are for Erie, Hancock, Huron, Ottawa, Putnam, Sandusky, Seneca, Wyandotte County. If I named your county, you're under a level 3 snow emergency. Level 2 is Defiance, Fulton, Henry, Lucas, Paulding, Williams, and Woods. So they are all level 2, level 3. And it's bad out there on the roads. So just don't be out there traveling.
Yeah, either way, regardless of whether you're a 2 or 3, stay in for the night.
All right, we will let you guys all go this evening. We appreciate you joining in for this live. And our WTOL 11 weather team has been absolutely dedicated to giving you this information. So a huge thank you from our whole weather team for trusting the WTOL 11 weather team, getting you through this winter storm, a long duration winter storm. And we appreciate, we've been working around the clock for you guys, and we're there for you. Much love and much thanks for that. Have a great evening.
Yep, we'll see you on the air tonight.